live stream's going. All right. Sorry, guys. It's a little bit of technical difficulties here, but we're back. All right. We are back. All right. So, Robert Jones, channel member, welcome in, buddy. Woo Dog, hello there. Rolf, you're here. Bobtism, there we are. Yep. Bobtism channel member, welcome back in. Yeah, I kind of screwed up. All right, I didn't just kind of screw up. I screwed up lots. What happened was I had my live stream set to go, and I hit the wrong button, so it went live, not within what was set up. So, my bad. That's what I get. This is a Saturday night pop-up live stream. I figure most of the people are over at Ron Pro right now for some odd reason. I had no idea he was going live tonight, but I should have assumed, because every time Big Red doesn't go on, Ron likes to jump on. So do I, but we usually talk to each other about it, so that way we're not on at the same time. But that didn't happen tonight. Robin Dallum, hello there, channel member. Welcome in. So that's why me and Ron are on at the same time. But I like Ron, so it's not a big deal. You know? But how's everybody tonight? Right now we've got 9 people in here. That's awesome. We've got 3 likes. And Rolf, actually, you missed it because I did it in the wrong live stream. So Rolf became a channel member again. So he gets his lightsaber salute, but he gets it twice tonight. Dragoon LSK member for 2 months. You get a phaser salute. Actually, no. You get a lightsaber salute. Sorry about that. Very cool. Thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate that. James McCann, channel member, welcome in. Rolf Robertson, member for 3 months. How about one more? You know what, Rolf? You get one more. Absolutely. There we go. Awesome. So we all spoke the other night on New Year's Eve, a bunch of us. It was kind of cool hanging out. Bobtism member for 3 months. You get a lightsaber salute. There we go. It's fun being a Jedi. So, like I said, we were on the other night on New Year's Eve. Had a great time with everybody. Yes, Delaine, channel member. It is chaotic tonight. And if you missed the beginning when I absolutely went into the wrong live stream, so it's been very chaotic. But that's okay. It's all cool. You know, I was sitting out there watching G-Ball's live stream, and I started watching some videos. And before I knew it, it was like time to go on. So I came in here, turned on all the lights, and then realized I forgot my coffee, ran outside, came back in, got the microphone set up and everything. I hit go live, but I didn't actually hit go live in the stream that I had set up. So that's why it went vertical and started running over there. But we've got it all back together. We're good. So I'm glad to see everybody is back, or a lot of people are back, and hopefully everybody had a nice, fun New Year's Eve. After we went off, we just kind of hung out, and then I proceeded to do something I haven't done since I was a kid. I watched the Dick Clark Rockin' New Year's Eve, because usually we go out or or I just do other stuff, but I decided to watch that, and they did something really cool. They went from whatever time they started till 4 in the morning, and you got to see the ball drop in New York. Then you got to see the celebration in Chicago, then in Las Vegas, and then in LA. So you got to see the celebrations in the 4 different time zones. It was really cool. And even though I'm not into a lot of the bands that were on, it was just kind of cool seeing some of the performances, you know. Jen Blaze TV, hello there. How are you? But that was kind of cool. I kind of, it was the first time that they had ever done that, where they stood up till 4 in the morning. And you got to see all the celebrations in all 4 time zones. So that was kind of cool. Jen had passed out a little bit after midnight, which we knew was going to happen, you know. But it was cool. Like I said, not a lot came into the channel this week, so just a couple of things, but you know, cuddle a few blades. Yes, absolutely. Rolf says he'll be right back. So basically what came in this week was just this cool keychain, which says Knife Collector, and it says EDC and Outdoors, which is kind of cool. I like that leather keychain. Got this off of Whatnot. These were really cheap. These were like, I think these were like $3 or something. Real leather. Nicely done. And it's like, it's perfect for me. And then the only other thing that came in was another Nafs Lander. Jen got me this one. I specifically asked for this one because this one is a blem. And as Nafs always does, they put the happy face on the blem. So I'm trying to collect all their knives as a blem. Fred the Lug, hello there. What's up, my friend? So I've already got new scales coming for this because I really get bored with these blue scales. So I ordered a set of, actually I didn't order. I spoke to someone in the Nafs group who had a set of extra micarta scales, the Flytanium micarta scales. So he's sending those to me. We kind of worked something out on that, which is really cool. So these are going to have the micarta scales. And what's nice about that, it's going to match my Lander, my Lander 5, Lander 5, no, the Lander 4 fixed blade that I have that's also a blem in the micarta. So I love that they put the happy face on their blems. If you look, I have it here on the, because I love Nafs blems. So it's also there too. I don't know if I can turn it the right way yet. You can see it. You got the happy face on the bit driver too. We won't tell anybody, Bob. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's why I like buying the blem. So now I'm going to try and get all the Lander series in blems, which would be really cool. Yeah, Bob, they offer their blems, but not all the time. I think it was right before Christmas they put Lander 1 blems up for sale, as well as Lulu blems. I should have grabbed one of the Lulu blems, but I didn't. I should have. I didn't think about it, to be honest. They do. They all have the cool smiley face. They're all sold out, Dale. They completely sold out. In fact, I went in today. I have a coupon for 15% off, and I was going to see if I could buy another one of these. because I've got so many custom scales for the NAF stuff that I was going to build even another one, but they're gone. They're gone. So, but they'll come up again. Or if you hang out in the Whatnot, in NAF's Whatnot, they always offer blems there. The problem is people overpay for them there. So I wait. Or what you could do is you could reach out to NAF's customer service. Sometimes they have blems that they haven't posted and that they'll be willing to invoice you for. So you could do that. TCal does that too. TCal doesn't always list their blems, but if you write to TCal's customer service, and if you're a TCal member too, Brown Sugar, hello there, channel member, how are you? Go ahead, stop by. Go ahead, just stop by. So that's the way you could get blems. A lot of these companies actually have blems and they don't publicize it, but if you contact them, they'll sell them to you, you know. But good, I'm glad you're doing well. I want everybody to do well. Have a good night, Fred. I'll talk to you soon, buddy. Yeah, absolutely. I like what TCal does. I think TCal makes some really good stuff. I do think, and I understand they're made in the USA, but I think they're a little bit overpriced. But that doesn't mean I don't have them or don't love them, because I do. I think they're just a bit overpriced. And the other thing is, TCal doesn't actually build everything in-house, just so everybody's aware. When I was at the last knife show, I met a gentleman who actually is the one who makes the piranhas for Tim Kell. Now, it doesn't mean it's not a Tim Kell design, and Tim Kell does the final finishing. But they're not all made in-house, just so everybody knows. But yeah, I was at the last knife show I attended. I met the gentleman who, and I have it written down somewhere in one of my notebooks. I forgot, he makes his own custom knives as well, but he's partnered with Tim to make the piranhas. So that's the thing. That's also one of the reasons why sometimes with TCal, some of their knives take longer, because I don't want to say they're outsourcing. It's not like they're bringing them over from overseas. They're being made here by people who are in partnership with them, you know, and they're making it to Tim's specs, and Tim's doing the designs or whatever. But and I wouldn't have known this if I hadn't talked to the gentleman from that particular knife company. So it's interesting. It's not something that, in fact, I actually want to reach out to Tim and find out more about how that works. So my man Trauma, hello there, and welcome in, welcome in. And you are a channel member. Thank you for being a channel member. But yeah, I have to find out more of the specifics from TCal, and they're very honest about things. So like, I'm sure he'll, when I tell him who I met and whatnot, he'll tell me exactly how it works, because I don't want to say too much about it, because I really don't know all about it. Like I said, I just know I met the gentleman, and he was telling me that his company does and he specifically does the piranhas. So what's everybody carrying today? I'll kind of show you what I'm carrying. First thing I have is this little neck knife, which is a Kanku. Little guy. And I actually think I spun it backwards because of the microphone. I did. But I have the little Kanku in the pockets. First thing, today's a NAFS day. I'm carrying the NAFS Lander 2 Tanto with the micarta and the unnecessarily long paracord on it. But I got that. Then I have in this pocket, I'm also carrying the NAFS Little Lulu. Love this little fixie. Magna cut, made in USA. Ow! And I just stabbed myself because I'm trying to put it back in the sheath in the dark. Not too bad. I'm not bleeding really bad. Uh-oh. The Llama Man Trauma member. For 3 months, you get a lightsaber salute. Which one? The little Lulu? Yeah, I've seen people way overpay on Neves live streams. But I did buy a knife off of Neves. I bought one of the Monterey Bay mini old guards. And I got that one, believe it or not, at less than retail. So it does happen both ways, but most of the time people overpay. And honestly, I think I got it for less than retail because nobody else seems to be bidding on it, you know. But let's see what else I'm carrying. In the other pockets, I have my Arc Pro. I have to get used to saying Arc Pro instead of Arcfeld Pro. But I've got the Arc Pro. I have got in the pocket, deep down in the pocket, I am carrying the RoseCraft. And I forget the name of this one. But it's the Sakiki Jack? I forget. But I'm carrying that RoseCraft. It's awesome. The only thing about this one is the pulls on this are really tight. So it takes a bit to open it. But it's a gorgeous knife. Nice size blade too on that. With the perfect RoseCraft swedging. You know. Carrying Neves Defender. You have a 15V Para 3 in hand. Very nice. I missed somebody else's. Somebody else was carrying. Jen Blaze has the Remet Wild Species. It's a nice knife. I like it a lot. It is tight to open, I will say that. But what's nice about that is it's not going to close on you by mistake. So yeah, it's a little tough to pull, but the walk and talk's fantastic. You know. And I've been really good about not biting my fingernails lately, so opening it up is not as hard as it has been for me in the past. Because I'm a nail biter, sorry. Bad habit from when I was a kid. And then, of course, I've also got in that pocket the SOG Power Pint. This guy is so nifty. SOG Power Pint. And then, as always, I've got my Gear Infusion pry bar. my little Swiss Army knife, and my Zippo lighter. So that's what's in my pockets. What about everybody else? I know everybody's got some stuff, right? EDC King, hello there. Welcome in, welcome in. Glad you're here. We've got 22 people, which is not bad considering it's, 1 a.m. here in the East Coast. Or 1:30 a.m. now. Wow. Why on Kodiak? Well, no Big Red tonight, so I figured I would jump on. Also, too, I was bored out of my mind. And I was like, what am I going to do tonight? I was like, I can sit out there watching TV. I don't really have any projects to work on, and I didn't feel like shooting video. So I was like, might as well just jump on. Like I said, Big Red's not on. So why not just hang out for a while? No real plans. We can talk about anything. But glad you're here, buddy. And, I know I wasn't the only one up. So, and I added even more lighting behind us. I don't know if you noticed. So why not? Lots of lighting. Yeah, me too. I like I said, New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, I stood up till 4 in the morning watching the Dick Clark. Last night I went to bed at like 4 in the morning, and tonight I'll get off of here because I'm only going to do an hour tonight. We'll get off of here at 2. I'll probably be up to 4, and then sleep till about 8:30. 4.5 hours of sleep. Why not? I don't have a lot to do tomorrow. Yeah, right. I got a ton to do tomorrow. Will I feel like doing it? No. But anybody else? Anybody else? What are you all carrying? Anything? Good night, EDC King, and thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. And if you haven't already, just hit the thumbs up before you leave. That'd be greatly appreciated. Nice. Very cool. Speaking of backyard ribs, right here in town in Sussex, New Jersey, they opened up a new barbecue restaurant that opened up right, I think, beginning of December, or maybe middle of December. And we went there for the first time last night. And thanks, EDC King. And they were phenomenal. I had an order of burnt ends. Oh, they were so good. They were cooked perfectly. They were tender. They were just, the taste was spot on. Then I had their homemade macaroni and cheese, which was fantastic. And then I did an order of onion petals and an order of fries, which me and the wife were sharing the onion petals and fries. But it was all amazing. But the restaurant, they moved into like what was an old deli, and they redid the inside. It looked really great. The food was phenomenal. The staff was awesome. Like, we had some nice conversations, just hanging out, talking to them and whatnot. The owner / chef was a really nice guy. So when I have an experience like that, I immediately jump on Google and give them a 5-star review. Especially a new business, I want to make sure they get people to know. And I was shocked when I went onto Google. They had like 48 reviews already, and all of them were 5-star. So that tells you something. There wasn't one negative review. They were all 5-star. They have a perfect 5-star rating. So that you don't find a lot. And then on Facebook, I think their rating was like 4.8 out of 5. So really cool, So I'll be going back there again. And the pricing was really good. I mean, for the two of us to eat along with beverages and whatnot, it was like right around the $50 point, which is, in today's restaurant market, that's not bad. It was like $25 a person, like I said. So can't complain about that. But really good. I really appreciate good barbecue. And there aren't a lot of good barbecue places. We had a couple of them, but they made a mistake of expanding too quickly. Like, we had a really good diner. The owner of the diner sold the diner and then opened up a barbecue restaurant, which was fantastic. But then he decided to open 2 more locations. And as of this day, he's only got 1 location now because he expanded too quick and he couldn't keep up, you know, which was a shame because he should have just stood with the diner because his diner was amazing. But it is what it is. And there are 50 million diners in New Jersey. So, as anyone who lives in New Jersey could tell you, if you just spin around and point in a direction, you're bound to point at a diner. So, there you go. So, I was watching G-Ball's video, his members only video, and he talked about something that I experience and I get, which was the fact that he was getting burnt out because he was over editing his videos. And I totally understood what he was talking about because that was happening to me. There was a point where, correct. Yep, absolutely, Neil McKenzie. Neil, welcome in. I didn't realize you were here. Or maybe I did and I just don't remember because, it's 1:30 in the morning. But Neil McKenzie, member for 5 months, part of the Explorers Club, he gets a lightsaber salute. Awesome. Thanks, Neil. Appreciate you being here. But, so like I said, this is what G-Ball was saying. And G-Ball was talking about overproducing videos. And I was doing that for a while. In some of my videos there, going back a few months ago, like if I went like, I don't know, or if I used, I have a problem. I've used the word "so" a lot in my videos. Like I'll be like, oh, and so this is a great knife. And then I'll say the word "so" like 50 times. So I was going in and cutting out every time I said "so." So that way it wasn't repetitive. And I realized that, one, you have to go through every second of video listening to it to see where the stammers were, where the stutters, stutters, whatever you want to call it, times where I might have mispronounced a word, or even where I gave a statistic wrong because I said it wrong. And then what I would usually do is just go in and voice over that to give you the right statistic. Where now I'll just drop a note on top saying, like if I said something was 2.1 inches and it was really like 2.3 inches, I'll just put a little correction with a text over it, Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. I realize I'm not making high Hollywood cinema, not that I don't care about the product, because I do. I care about how the video looks and how, and I'm still working on all of it constantly. But, you know, yeah, see, I was getting really conscious of every word, and I was going in and I was just constantly editing. And I don't do it anymore. Like if something's really wrong and off, I'll do it. But to go in like I was and just constantly cut video, and then have to record over it and have to nail, like if you said a word and it would take like half a second to say, and you have to say it at the exact same point, and I'd have to re-record it like 3 times to get it right. And it was just, no, it got to be way too much. Like I would work on a 10-minute video and I'd be working on it literally for 2-3 hours. And one, it was time consuming, tiring, and tedious. So the 3 T's. But I had to stop doing that. And what that really did was, because it was so hard, it was putting me off on making videos for a bit, which is why I wasn't getting out as many videos as I wanted. Well, that's changing starting this week. We're going to be getting a lot more content coming out because, one, I have to catch up on a lot of stuff. But also, two, there's just stuff I want to do that maybe the videos aren't going to be, Yeah, absolutely. You know, unfortunately, like right now, I'm, in fact, on, that's another, I didn't put up the milestone. On Christmas Day, we reached 375,000 views. So we're gonna easily hit 500,000 by the end of next year, as long as I put out the content, maybe even more. But first live is going to be Wednesday night. What time are you going to go on, Wyvern? Just curious, because I've been talking with Misadventure, and she would like to go live more, and we were thinking about doing the Wednesdays, kind of like we did the last 2 weeks, because there's not a lot of live streams on Wednesday nights. So we were thinking about going on. Oh, okay, Wyvern. I think that's when we're planning to do it. But all right, we'll figure it out. I don't want to step on your toes either. So, gotcha. The reason why I'm thinking about doing around 8 o'clock and going from like 8 to 9 is because Jen gets up so early in the morning. She's in bed by like 9:30, 10 o'clock every night. So I can't really go on later with that. But maybe we'll do something different. Maybe I'll go on at like 7 or so. You want to? Yeah, that's Dragoon. That's a real thing. When you get people sending you stuff and you have to make videos, um, sometimes they give you a directive that you have to give away what you're reviewing. You know, TRM was like that with the tag along. I had to give away the tag along. That was part of what we agreed on. But no, 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 no. That Wyvern. If you want to go on 8, I'll talk. I can go on at 7. That's fine. Because we're only gonna do an hour anyway. So I'll just run it by Misadventure. So that'll be fine. You know, we'll like I said, we'll figure it out. But Wyvern Kodiak is really funny because I sometimes forget that you are the Wyvern and your partner is the Kodiak of the Wyvern Kodiak. That you guys are that you guys together are Wyvern Kodiak. It's not just Wyvern Kodiak. So, oh, okay, gotcha. I'm. It's weird because I don't get a lot of stuff sent to me from the community. I get some stuff like Kelly's Miss Mash. Kelly sent me stuff, which is nice. Um, you know, I've been in a couple of little pass arounds, but um, haven't had a lot of people send stuff, and that's okay because honestly, like right now, I have some stuff. I do have some stuff that some of the communities give me, like Bill, who's usually on the Sunday nights. He's given me a set to review. It's like a set from of Remington knives. It's a box set that he got as a present, like in the early '80s or mid '80s. So it's really vintage, and I want to review that, which is really cool. You know, but yeah, exactly. Gotcha, gotcha. And I knew that. I just forget it because you're the one always here. You know, the Kodiak. He's not here. but but you know, I do have some more pass around opportunities. Um, there is a group of YouTubers that we all have. There's a group of YouTubers that we are in an Instagram group where we all talk and communicate, and there's pass around opportunities in that group. I'm new to the group. They let me in sometime in November, I believe. So I'm kind of new to the group, but it's cool. I'm kind of hanging out with some of the bigger YouTubers, and that's really fun, you know. But yep, Wyvern's in the group with me. He knows what I'm talking about. Gabe Harlan, hello there. How are you? But yeah, it's a cool group too because we learn a lot from some of the bigger YouTubers, and everybody in that damn group knows more than me. And I thought I knew a lot, but I'm constantly learning from them. Good group of guys. But what's really interesting is I am so close right now to 3,000 subscribers. I'm only like 35 away. It's getting there. Like I said, I didn't think I was going to make it, to 3,000 before the end of the year. And then all of a sudden we got really close, and then I hoped, and we just missed it. I'm not disappointed though, because the channel's grown, and you guys have all helped me out tremendously. Yeah, we're 35 away. And what's funny is every day that number goes up by like 2 or 3, then comes back down, then goes back up, and comes back down. Because what happens is some people, they'll go in, subscribe, but they don't like a video or they don't leave a comment, and so it doesn't stick. So, one thing I will say, Brian from 704 Gear says it best in all his videos, which is, Cliff Brott, hello there. You were here already. Did you leave and come back? I don't know. But with that being said, Brian from 704 Gear says it best. If you watch a video, if you open up a video, even if you just type gibberish into the comment field, it helps the video because it feeds the algorithm to say people are interacting with this video. More people need to see it. So that's why I always say, like if you give a thumbs up, that's awesome. But any comment you leave goes so much further than just giving a like. And trust me, giving a like really goes far. But the more interaction there is with the channel, the more the videos get put out there, which really helps. Yeah, engagement is the name of the game. Yep. And I'm sure, Wyvern, like you check out, I'm sure you look at your analytics. Do you ever see how long people actually watch your videos for? Very few people actually watch videos all the way. Paul Mills, hello there. Glad you're here. But with that being said, and you are a channel member, so I really appreciate that. But yeah, like the engagement on videos, like in the beginning of the video, engagement goes way up, and all of a sudden by the time the middle of the video comes, it starts to drop off. And very few people make it all the way to the end of a video. And I look at, it's not just my analytics, it's like I talk to other YouTubers, it's the same way. People, if they get halfway through your video, that's a lot, but Paul, you won one of the giveaways on G-Ball tonight, correct? Oh, that's cool. I don't know. I haven't put out enough videos, Bob, not recently. Not in the last few weeks with the holidays, but, Oh, you know what we need to do then? Tomorrow, when we have more people in the, tomorrow when we have more people in the chat, maybe we'll do a raid on one of your videos, Wyvern. Yes. Yep. I think looking back on 2025, the people I saw win the most giveaways were Rolf Robertson. Rolf won a ton of them. Brown Sugar was on a roll. She won a ton. I won considerable amount of gauze, so I can't complain. But Rolf to me was the big winner. He won like all the big giveaways, which is awesome. I like it. I like it when it's people like directly in our community. Obviously, we have people who are in the community, but don't necessarily interact with all of us. You know, they're on the fringe of the community. But when people like right in the community win, I love it even more. Especially if they're people I know. Oh my God, it's Dave from El Paso. What's up, Dave? How are you? I decided to jump in since Big Red did his show earlier today. I'm glad you could be here, buddy. Now, Dave is a person that I met through the community, and I have become very good friends with Dave. Dave and I talk all the time. He's really become one of my really, really close friends. So I'm glad, but he's always working on Sunday nights when I'm on live. So I'm glad he got to be here and hang out. That's awesome. Dave, I know you. I saw you sent me the link on Instagram, but I hadn't been on Instagram. I will get that link shared for you. So as you guys know, I post Dave's link to his articles all the time. So he does some really, really great articles. I still like reading about stuff sometimes more than just watching a video. You know, I find that when I read, I'm focused on it more. A lot of times when I'm watching a video, I get distracted and I'm doing other things. Where when I read the article, I take more from it. So that's awesome, Dave. I appreciate that. Well, that's because we all love Sheila. I mean, I'm sorry, Sharon. We all love Sharon. Brown sugar is the best. Where I've been very lucky to win is through Whatnot lately. Been winning a lot. I won another watch yesterday, another Invicta. So I have an Invicta arriving on Monday that I won, and then I won one yesterday that they already shipped. No, they didn't ship. When did I win it? Friday? But there were a few times where I won, but my stream was behind and I missed responding, so I lost. That happened to me with Rob's Very Knives. That happened with me somewhere else. I don't remember. Happened twice within like 2 days because the stream was behind, which was probably my fault because what happens is sometimes I'd go in the stream and then go switch to something else and go back and not realize I wasn't picking up where I left off. But hey, that's 3 wins. That's more than some people can say. Some people have never won. Yeah. Yeah, Dragoon. If the Whatnot channel on I should say the Whatnot, the Whatnot store on, let me rephrase it. English, please. English. On Whatnot, Invicta has 2 stores. They have Invicta, and then they have Invicta. I'm sorry, they have 3. Invicta Collector, and then they have Invicta for Her, or Invict Her, they call it. So they usually get like 500 people, anywhere between 200 and 500 people at a time. So I never win. Like I always just click enter giveaway. Well, I won where you win the case, and what they were doing is anybody won the case, they were throwing a random watch in. So I don't know what watch is coming. And I hit 2 of those. 2 of those a week apart, which I'm shocked. Now, the second one I hit, when I won that, there was very few people in the chat. They had just started live, and I think there was only like 80 people in there when I won it. Where the first one I actually won it when it was like 300 people. So I never think that stuff happens. But Matt Maurer, hello there. How are you, buddy? You know. Now, tomorrow will be interesting. So tomorrow morning, a bunch of us, will all be watching TKel's live stream. And I know this, and it's not against TKel, because guys know I love TKel. And I love Tim. But I say, they'll get like what, 250 people in their live stream tomorrow, at least half of the people there are just there to try and win a TCAL knife. And that's cool. Like, I wish I had something like that to give away so I could draw those numbers, you know? But I swear, I think that's why most people are there. Nice. Love me some MadYocco Hanks. And, you know, I love olites. I was gathering up olites the other day from just in my kitchen. And there were like 17 of them. On this table alone. All right, so let's take a look at, let's peel back the fourth wall here. So behind this iPad that I'm watching on, I got all kinds of crap, but that's besides the point. Under the crap, we have, let's go, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there's one more there. 9. I can't get that other one. Can I? 10. 11. 12. Okay. So check this out. We have got 12 olites right here, just sitting on the desk in front of me. 12. I think there's one more that slipped behind the iPad where I can't reach it. But to say I'm an olite junkie is to say the least. We've got all different colorways. See if I can get the colorways. Anybody see that? We've got more here. All different colorways. Oh, that'd be awesome, Wyvern. I appreciate that. Yeah, Mad does really good hanks, you know. And I'm kind of stubborn because I'm friends with MadYocco. I won't use anybody else's hanks, so it's kind of a loyalty thing. You know, I know other people make great hanks, but I'm one of those people. I'm loyal to my friends. So with that, you know, I literally just keep using Yocco's hanks. But that's a me thing. I got to gather all this stuff up that was behind said iPad so I can put it all back because I need to clear this space for recording videos tomorrow. I really should clean this desk up anyway. But it is what it is. It's not happening tonight. It's going to happen tomorrow. Oh, no worries, Yocco. You know, I only have one other hank, and that was sent to me from G-Ball, one of the giveaways. And that was a daily carry commission. Daily? No, not daily. I don't know. It's somebody's hank. I don't know. It's still sitting in its little bag out there. I don't use it, not because I don't want to use it, but I haven't had reason to open it yet. It literally is just a plain black hank with their logo embossed into it. I mean, I opened it up to look at it, but I haven't really used it. Yocco's usually around lurking. He's usually here, you know. It's funny though. I didn't know he was here, so it wasn't like I set that up. I genuinely like Yocco's hanks. You know. Hey Yocco, I want to ask you because I was actually on your website yesterday. I noticed you don't have the mystery boxes available. Are they going away, or are they coming back, or what's the story with that? Just curious. So, and by the way, on on double wide side, well, that's good. I mean, that's the cool thing. Like, I know you got the laser engraver now. It's going to be really cool to see what you're doing. Working on visual ID. Very cool. That's really cool. But yeah, I was just wondering if you were going to do the mystery boxes again, because I was thinking about getting one and I didn't get one, and then yesterday I was looking, I was like, oh, they're not there. So was just wondering if you're going to be doing those. Okay, gotcha. You know, speaking of mystery boxes, I actually bought one from Comm tonight. Comm had the mystery knife. You get three knives for $99. And they're all supposed to be premium quality knives. So the only person I know who's bought one was Brian, BEDC. He bought one. He did an unboxing of it. And he basically got 3 fixed blades that were really nice. I'm hoping to get at least one folder, maybe a fixed blade, and I don't know. I have a couple of their knives. I actually have 3 of their knives already. So, but I'm interested to see. I was like, for $99, I was like, I had a little bit extra. I was like, all right, I'll buy one, see what we get. So, I am always drawn into the mystery box. The allure of a mystery box always gets me. I've talked about that on here before. Oh, speaking of flashlights, let's do this. All right, there we go. Oh crap, it's 2 a.m. All right, folks. If anyone wants to buy from me, Donnie Bless, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Glad you're here. Mr. Laser Ghost Knives. Donnie, the maker of custom knives. Donnie, man, I was looking at some of the photos of on your website of some of your knives, man. I'm just blown away. At some point, one of these days, I'll have to get my hands on one. Oh, I appreciate that, Donnie. Today wasn't my regular time. Tomorrow night is. I just jumped on because Big Red wasn't on. So I figured I would just come on, hang out for a little bit. I'm actually going to sign off because I just want to come on for a little bit and hang out. Oh, Donnie, they're awesome. A little bit out of my price range, but yeah, no. I'd love to get my hands on one of those at some point, at least just to kind of flip it around and feel what it's like. Roger Baker, channel member, welcome in. How you doing, buddy? So we'll hang out just for another couple of minutes, and then I'm going to log off because it is 2 a.m. Oh, I found one of my knives. I didn't know it was missing, but I just moved some stuff and I found it in its case, and that's this one. The Asher Knives, Warncliffe. This is such a cool knife. But I didn't even realize I was missing it. Not that it was missing. It was literally in a pile of knives and stuff over there. And for some reason, I usually don't leave knives in there little pouches. I usually take them and put them in my knife cases. But for some reason, I picked that pouch up and I was like, hey, this got some weight to it. And I opened up and the knife was in there. And realized I hadn't put it in a case. But this is such a fun knife. And I'm a big sucker for Warncliffs. You know. But the only thing I can fault this knife for, like it feels great, is that jimping is really slick. It does not, well, you know what? It may be slick because this knife hasn't been handled a lot and it still has kind of its finishing oil on there. I mean, if I clean that off, because it should be, it's a aggressive enough jimping on there that should grab. But my finger kind of slides on it. Also, my skin is really dry right now. This winter, my skin is just drying out like you can't believe. It's actually, that's another thing that's helped stop me from making a couple of videos, because my skin is literally cracking and bleeding because my hands are so dry. That's even after putting like the extreme lotion on. So A, I'm not drinking enough water. B, because it's so the air is so dry, and also because I'm diabetic, so I always struggle with skin dry skin. So it's something I fight all the time. But sometimes it's better than others. All right. Oh, I did show you that. I'm sorry. I did show you that. So that's really about it. I don't know. Like I said, tomorrow we'll do the full show, and we'll have some fun with that. Tomorrow will be the members only giveaway. So if you're not a member and you want to be in that giveaway, I've got something cool planned for that. Yeah, there'll be an entry video that'll go up tomorrow, a members only entry video. So I've got something cool, something a little bit better quality, this time. Like I said, the big giveaway is going to come in another couple of weeks when we hit the 3,000 subscriber mark. We're so close. We're just right there. But there'll be some giveaways for that, and I've got knives lined up for that. But all right, folks, I'm going to wish everybody a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. I appreciate you hanging out this late hour. So all my night owls, love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And as I always say, until we meet again, keep your blade sharp. Good night, everybody.